I made this thumbnail on my phone with Instagram in less than a minute. Let me show you how I did it. So I actually got these photos from my boy Gideon. He just got into long form and he texted me a photo of his thumbnail, and then he was telling me how it took him so long to make it. So I asked him to send me the photos so that I can show him an easier way to create the thumbnail, and I just thought that I would share that video with you as well. So the first thing we need to do is open up Instagram. Once we're inside of Instagram, we can hit the plus sign down at the bottom, which will give us the option to create a new story. And then here on the left, I can go into my photos. And then here is the photo of the plated dish. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn my phone, because thumbnails are horizontal, 16:9 aspect ratio. We wanna make sure that we make our thumbnail like that. So with my fingers, I'm just rotating the image here, right? And I'm just gonna use it to zoom in and fill up this frame. Typically you want the dish to fill up 80% of the frame, 70% of the frame. But because we have multiple images, I'm going to leave a little bit of space on the side, right? So now that we kind of have it generally where we want it, I'm gonna go ahead and swipe up from the bottom and then go back to our images. And then he had a nice image of the chicken wing here, right? So what I can actually do, let me flip this, yeah. And I don't know if you knew this, but if you have a good depth of field, like he has, what I mean is like a blurry background, you can actually tap and hold the chicken wing and it's gonna highlight that area and I can copy it, right? And then what I'll do is I'll swipe back over to Instagram, and then you can just tap anywhere on the screen and it's gonna bring up text, like you're gonna type something out, and then you can go ahead and hit paste, right? And then there is the chicken wing hand, right? So now all I'm gonna do is just kind of rearrange this a little bit. Let me select the photo here. I kind of wanna put a little bit of space here. So this essentially could be one thumbnail, right? We got a nice close-up of the wings here. And then we have the plated dish on the side. I think this right here would make a great thumbnail, just like that, right? But let's say we wanted to incorporate a shot of Gideon in the thumbnail. So there's multiple ways we can do this. I still kind of like the layout of this, so I might just move this over a little bit, and then we'll move the wings over a little bit. And then I'm going to go back into our images and look for the shot of Gids. So here's the photo of Gideon pointing to the side. The thing is, I want him pointing the other way. So there's two things we can do here. We can rearrange the whole thing, or if I wanted to, I could go into my editing button here. And then this gives me the option to crop. And then with that crop, I actually have an option to flip the image on that top left. So I'm just going to go ahead and flip him so he's pointing the other way. Go ahead and hit done. Again, just like we did last time, I can tap and hold and it highlights Gids. I can copy him. We'll go back over to our thumbnail. I might move this over just a little bit. Again, I'll just tap anywhere to type something out. We'll tap again, we'll hit paste. And then there is Gideon off to the side pointing. And we can just resize him to fit where we want. And again, now we have the option to kind of like make some micro adjustments here. But I think that is a pretty solid thumbnail as well of just Gideon in the shot standing to the side. So one thing that I mentioned to Gideon after this is, you know, something to think about. There's a lot of brown going on in this thumbnail. One thing that could definitely help this is if he placed the plate on like a different color surface, not like a wood table. And then also if he just didn't have like a brown shirt on, obviously. But just these are things that you can consider, right? You could just take a bunch of different photos of you in different shirts pointing or different aprons pointing, right? And then just make sure you're separate or separated from your background so it's easier for you to tap, hold, and copy yourself from the image to paste into these thumbnails, right? Another thing that I love about using Instagram is that you can easily add text and emojis, right? So all you have to do is just tap anywhere on the screen, and then that gives you the option to type something out. So in this case, You don't necessarily want to have the same words in your title, in your thumbnail. So I would just give some more expressive words like sticky or sweet, right? Sticky. And you can change the text easily, right? And then you can even change the color if you wanted to, right? So I'm just going to go with red because that might just pop a little bit better. Maybe we'll go with blue. No, green, yellow. Oh, yellow actually looks good. Yellow on there. And then again, I'll flip my screen. And that's a great way. You can easily add text, right? You don't want to add too much. I would say probably just like 2 or 3 words max. That just enhances what the dish is other than what's already in the title. Okay, so if you're happy with how your thumbnail looks, all you have to do is at the top right of the screen, hit the 3 dots, and then that's going to give you the option to save your thumbnail. And then your thumbnail now should be in your image gallery. This is probably the easiest way to make thumbnails if you're not a very tech savvy person or want to learn Photoshop or Canva. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll catch you in the next one.